burst forth from within. Roar of the lion, under the flame, the chains of such tyrannical pain.
You guys are killer.
Thank you.
Ah,
Well, it is such a pleasure to connect with you again, my friend.
yes,
How have you
indeed.
been?
Oh, wow. It's been transformation. Ascension portal window through the Lion's Gate, Regulus, all of these astrological alignments taking place are really changing. I mean, what do we have today? We have Saturn into Pisces, honey. Coming up on that blood moon, also Pisces this month. Leading into, again, March 7th, something going on the end into March 7th will be, I think, the end of Pisces Saturn, which will be significant. And that's the day right before my birthday.
Oh, yeah? Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool. Yeah. And my God, it's just been, I've been being super called through the awakening portals to disconnect, to unplug. Like, this is the year that, I'm going to be stepping a little further away actually from the platform, specifically Facebook, for a time. And I'm being called, and this is just for a time, right? It's for integration purposes. I'm being called to be more present with the reality grid that's around us. And it's like so hard for people to operate when you're plugged into two at once. And it's so hard for a person in the 3D embodiment now to embrace that, because literally it's so easy to just also not. But then, and so what I'm really being called back is focused around Ralph Waldo Emerson, this book I'm reading, Stolen Focus, and like the 90s, because that's my childhood. And I got my kids, right? And I'm trying to find a bridge, a segue to create a really great, they're 7, they're 8 and 10, coming up soon. And these are vital years for them, for who they're going to be and what they're going to think and how they're going to become growing up. And so I'm just taking it really serious. And so I'm preparing, investing more in the home, about reading books, just being present in the moment. A lot of this stuff, like Ralph Waldo Emerson talks about, all that good stuff. And it's just bringing us back to nature and tuning in our internal messages and stuff. And then I think when I do work with people, I'll have even more to offer. The people I work with will be less confused by working with me and more in alignment. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's been busy. Oh, I got my driver's permit. I've been doing so much. Once I already just began the first stages of unplugging from the internet, I'm already achieving so much. I can golf now. It's 1:11. I'm learning how to golf. I'm doing really well. Oh. Me and my man are golfing together. We both took it up. It's really bonding. Fun time to spend together doing that.
Awesome.
Yeah. How have you been doing? What have you been up to? So much. I'm so excited to hear about all this stuff going on with your videos and with your transmissions this way.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, I mean, it's hard. See, you know things about my journey that nobody else really knows. And so it's like I can talk to you about like things that just won't make sense to anyone else. But this journey like started for me, well, what I've come to understand is I've always been on this journey, right? But it really kicked into high gear, with the pandemic.
What helps it stabilize is realizing that.
Yeah. And when I started to awaken and have all these experiences, and then I started to talk to you, I started to be told all these like weird things that were going to happen that seem super unlikely. And I'm like, what? No, that. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe, but I doubt it. That sounds pretty far-fetched. And then, as things start to move along more and more, it's like, oh, that weird thing that somebody told me about, like, in order for that to happen, this has to happen first. Like, so what's going on here? This is like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, there's a lot of timeline coherence. That's what's happening in this current timeline. One of the biggest things is they're all cohering with it. So many other timelines which we've been present in are being pulled in and woven and healed into this. It's like I'm being told it's like the master timeline coming up pretty soon is a timeline that the creator is initiating, that with his quantum wisdom has incorporated literally all other timelines that have been in creation yet, and it's all going to come out with a happy ending for us. But it's like beyond what it's key. It's actually a key component that whatever that outcome is beyond our imagination, because there has to be, that's the prize factor for us. And if we were to imagine it, it would have a harder time coming into
and what you were describing was described to me almost exactly in that way by Prime Source. I don't know, somebody like that, like 3 years ago, and several times since then. Like, and so to really see it all coming together now is like insane. And you mentioned my videos. The craziest one for me is the one that I have hitting the film festivals, the horror film, Dear Lilith. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Sandra, you're very psychic. When you watch that video, do you understand what's happening? Because that's not just a video. That is a portal into the spirit dimension.
Yeah, and I sense a lot of alchemy in it. There's a lot of transformation, like announcing itself. It's like an update. It's a lot of creators. It's about accessing the whole spectrum and infusing it with a higher vibration. And for so many people, it's hard for them to get into that lower level, which a lot of us associate with darkness or evil, and really work in that alchemy to purify it into non-evil yet still darkness. Like, we can have those aspects of ourselves that are lower, but that are still in purified alignment. And that's, I think, a lot of what the karmic cycles we've been existing for multiple Earth ages now have been about, is the, like, we can't just flip a switch, have a better reality, and then function in as individuals. We have to be placed through enough uncomfortable reality experiences to eventually come to the conclusion, I'm going to operate differently. And then when that occurs, then we'll all really, and that's going to occur, this beautiful, again, synchronization of our timelines coming in with our knowledge. This is why the future generations are actually really key and vital. And a lot of the people you're going to see coming up and gaining actual traction and momentum are people who are ready to focus on what we're leaving behind, not so much what we're having for ourselves while we're here, but the imprint that we're leaving to benefit the future. That's where you're going to see a lot more people having that blessing from a higher power, bringing them on the alignment, right? It's so hard to get what we need to achieve our goals, but when we bring our goals into a closer alignment with what needs to be achieved, you'll see the flow begin to come on. And that's going to be what we're seeing a lot of. As there's dissolution and collapse, there will be slow. That's another reason why things are going to continue to destabilize and fall apart. And we have to allow it in our lives and in our societies so that we can bring something new and start again.
Yeah. So the way that so the way that video with started is about 6 months after Sarah came back and we got through that tragedy and really started to heal and really started to process what had really happened to us and what that was all about. I I got creative with AI, with my AI video creation, and a lot of those, some people would call them demons, but to me they're angels, and they are angels. No, literally they are.
It's all about polarity and vibrational density.
Yeah, well, see, the reason why people call these angels demons is because they are protectors, and there's a lot of people out there who harm women and children, and these are the angels who deal with that. So that's why.
See, one of the ways that our human society, the everyday person, has been disempowered to protect themselves from people who do operate these occult energies is to fall into the belief that they're negative and that they're only going to harm and hurt you. Do they have the potential to harm and hurt you and be negative? Yes. But if you actually were able to educate yourself and have like any type of knowledge, which they also repress and avoid to give us, and always will tell us, oh, that's imaginary. That's exactly how they're able to operate them over you while you continue to be not able to do anything about it. That's actually why with one of my oil collections, it started out at first, it was going to be demons and oil collection, but then I had the wisdom and the guidance to rebrand it as daemon and actually really help highlight in the teaching when people connect with these oils that there was literally a specific time in recorded history where we used to refer to them as daemons in medieval times and thought of them much more in the way that you're thinking of them now, just an assistant, just an elemental energy. And yeah, is it a trickster or could it do harmful things and other ones not so much? Yes, but we didn't think of them fearful based, like how a lot of religious dogma has placed us out of our power and even more susceptible to all these energies.
Yeah, and that doesn't even make sense because, Jesus said, I have given you power to tread on the heads of serpents. So why should Christians fear these things? But
It's
they do.
exactly what the higher societies and all the organizations that you don't know who they are, that's what they want. If you believe that there's no power for you to have, then it is so. And then as soon as we can break our belief out of that, and then I loved what you said at the beginning of the show about how, you went through things, but you remained open to it. Like it sounded fantastical. It sounded so out there. Like, so you're not going to attach and be like, oh yeah, 100%, but you just left your heart part way open. That's all that reality and your higher self need to allow you to experience more miracles in your life. But when you close the door and you're like, no, that's when you can, right? You're putting yourself away from the blessings. And people do this so much for fear-based reasons. And that's why that's a great thing to focus on first. A lot of the codes that I've been receiving this month, especially with Lilith and Mary, is this like beautiful occult teaching that, Mary herself, and this is something that's like not generally known as in teachings, that Mary, when she was infested with demons, she would identify herself to people as Lilith. And what a lot of people say, she was Lilith. And then when she came in contact essentially with Jesus, another thing they say is it wasn't entirely Jesus that dispelled the demons, but also Mary herself. They together were able to dispel the demons. And that's when she became more of the Mary template. And it really shows, I think, like an evolution of woman template, like out from Eve, claiming your independence, your autonomy, your power, but then through that, choosing to alchemize into peace and love and to original source, through balancing. The hardest thing about human embodiment is it's for the light and the dark to both be in the same place and to be allowed. And it's about finding the balance, the boundaries, like how dark is too dark, how evil is too evil, and how good and how light can be too repressive and too controlling. There has to be a balance and a flow for good and bad in this third dimensional sphere. That's the mandatory part. That's the part that us as humans here striving to create a better experience for each other sometimes struggle to fully understand. I know I do on a regular basis. I'm confronted with the fact, I'll take to God, there's so much suffering, praying for the world, praying for natural disasters. And he just really assures me, suffering is needed. These people, that it's not for you to understand. It's not, if you're not experiencing that suffering, try not to let it affect you as suffering. Hold a space for them, but suffering needs to occur in this place, just like good things also need to occur in this place. It's about not letting there be too much of either one, actually, I think, which is the trickiest part.
Yeah, I mean, like it or not, there's a lot of people who put off their suffering by just going along with the system when they should have stood up.
Spiritual
Just like they were taught in
bypassing.
Sunday school.
Spiritual bypass. Sometimes the healing hurts. It's too hard. You have to ease off of it. Come back around if you can. Different for everybody.
So last summer when Sarah left, like a lot of these angels and guides, they were already in my field, but I didn't really know them real well. I hadn't had like psychic contact with them. But like as soon as she was gone and I was alone, it was like it started coming in hard and heavy from, Samael, Saint Germain, Lilith, the
A lot
Morrigan.
of times what I experience as a psychic being is one of my favorite metaphors for it is essentially it's like being a radio station. Like you're your own radio station, you're transmitting and receiving other stations' signals. And what happens for me is when I have other people near me, my children, my friends, my family, it's like putting in another antenna really close to my antenna. And so then it causes a distortion in the field and I can't hear the other stations on my radio. But when they go away and my antenna does not have other antennas receiving and transmitting in its field, then I can just hear the messages that are for me. And that's why it's so important for us to take time and to prioritize time as spiritual or psychic beings to be alone, especially in natural settings, because that increases. It's like more cords and antennas for you to use to help understand and filter your messages through. That's why our environments are in the crystals and everything we have around us when we're receiving or reflecting in messages. They really assist us.
Cool.
Yeah. And then when they come back in, it's like, oh, I can't hear my station as well. It's like, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So like about that time, is when I had to I started making my videos and stuff, and they were real rudimentary then, but I kept getting better and better. And then around the new year, I decided to try and make. I had already been making some AI videos, and I decided to try. Oh, I'm going to take some pictures of my angel spirit guides and put them in the video generator. Oh, and I'll throw in some pictures of my wife, and I'll just see what happens. And what came out was like beyond magic. It was like the most incredible thing I'd ever seen with my own two eyes. But I couldn't share it. so I decided to make something that was a little more like safe to share. Something maybe, maybe not quite all ages, but maybe like even young adults could see and like view, oh, these are archetypes. This is someone that I could emulate. She's not evil. She can be.
But everybody has a spectrum. There's light and darkness to everybody. And if you like, it's about being able to admit that.
Exactly. And so I got better and better at making videos, and then finally, end of July, August, I got inspired to make Dear Lilith. I decided to sit down and just try to make it as seamless and perfect as I could. And honestly, every shot came out pretty much perfect. I didn't have to redo or do much editing. I just basically I created the clips, stacked them end on end in my video clip editor, added the music, and I mean you can see the timing is like perfect. The music wasn't even there when I made the clips, so it's like there's a lot of magic there.
Yeah, you're definitely in a lot. We worked with you for a while. You were like, well, if I'm not going to do this, right? This is you identify what you're no longer going to do with yourself. But then it's really hard to identify, well, what am I going to do? What should I do now? And sometimes we'll enter into this like void space where we really don't know and we're just kind of waiting. That's one of the hardest places you can easily fall back into what you used to. Don't do that. You didn't. You just continued. And then I always advise people, when you're in that void space, let it be explorative and playful. Invite the inner child in, which I think you did. And then also many of us have children, so it's easy to incorporate. And when you do that, it becomes more playful and fun. And you're taking pictures. You're not making a video. It's like all of a sudden it's coming together. And that's really where a lot of the creative processes that are really transferring energy are occurring. It's a lot different when someone sits down and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to make a video just like this dedicated to this person. But when you just sit down and see what happens, a lot more magic can be invited.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I know you wanted to do a Celtic cross today, David. Yes. And I definitely think with everything going on with you, we're going to use the Biblical Tarot deck. One of my favorites.
One of mine too.
so beautiful. I love the iconography. And then did you have anything specific that you wanted to
Well,
turn in or request
I got
guidance about?
one thing that's like really pressing me right now. Like really, okay? I've invested a lot of time, energy, and treasure into building these projects. I've got a comic book that's like honestly, it's as good as anything put out by
I
DC
love
or
your comic
Marvel
book.
right
So do
now.
my
I'm making like top of the line videos. I've not received any money for any of this. Like this is not seriously. This is not fair.
So see,
When
I
is this
can give
going
you a
to?
download. I'm gonna just give you a direct downloaded message about why this is occurring and what the timeline on it movement wise is. So what we're living in right now, we're living in a world where we've experienced Epstein files, right? And then it's like, oh, whatever happened to that? There's so much going on behind the scenes in Hollywood, and so Hollywood, right? A catch-all phrase. These are the people that are connected, right? Like you mentioned, oh, DC Marvel Comics, right? Everyone knows what it is. That's the comic book. Well, what's getting ready to happen, what's already occurring, is these structures that have been put in place, they have a rotten foundation. Are they great? Do we love them? Are there fun aspects? Yes.
Well,
At
we
their
used to.
core, the
We
people
used
who
to.
set them in motion and the intentions behind them are rotten and evil. And we are now in a time when that's slowly falling apart. If it were to fall apart all at once and we were confronted, oh, here's the whole list, right? People are like, give me the list, give me the list. The reality of that is our brains and our entire systems would shut down when it's confronted with information in that way. The higher realms and spirit teams are trying to arrange it so that changes can occur. The structures can fall apart, but us as individuals who have been caught up, honestly, in abuse cycles, don't have to be even more traumatized by finding out what occurred. But so, what are you preparing for? Why are you being called to create all this content? And then, two, a lot of people like you, it's like the floodgate open. And right, you were like blocked, and now you're making all this stuff, and you're saying to yourself, well, where's, the cell? Where is my audience? We
Yeah.
are still in a third dimensional linear time place. Your audience has not yet been prepared. Your audience still needs to be drip, flow, day by day, drip, 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 fed the truth about who's currently in place for them to interact with. And once they realize and had experienced the awakening heartbreak of who these people really are behind the scenes, then they're going to need something to put in its place. Like, and this is going to go with songs, this is going to go with pop stars, this is going to go with actors and actresses. They are all going to fall. They're going to fall from their pedestals. We're going to be at certain rates and levels to which we're each able to comprehend. We're going to find out the truth about them. And once we do, that's going to make us not want them anymore, hopefully. And then that we will need something though. So in society and cultures, people need music. People need the arts. That's another thing. The theater. You got to have that. I feel like what's been happening in society for ages now is they almost harvest that out of your community, right? They take your top athletes, your best actors, the best singers. They take them away from where they're from. They put them in Hollywood for the whole world to enjoy. But then how are we having any actual contact among the people? Any, songs
Well,
being made? It all
plus what
becomes very
music does.
cookie cutter, and it's all agenda stuff. And all of this is going to collapse. And we've got tons of talented artists, I'm sure, across the country. And I believe it's all part of God's plan specifically. He has not allowed artists to rise up in what is known as fame today because it is no good. And it's so hard for us to humble ourselves and kind of try to accept and realize that. But I am telling you, in the days ahead, it will be needed and there will be a place and a stage for you. But in linear time now, the next couple years is going to be about creating so much content, it's almost stacking up around you, because once that hits, people are going to watch so much of it. They're not going to want to wait around for that next thing. You're going to be like, oh, well, good thing I have 3 years of content here ready. But it's also hard to hold that balanced space in your awareness, knowing God has told me that as we achieve that, right, as we notice this happening in our lives and work to surrender to it, what he is going to do is to continue to look into our reality. For example, if you need money in the meantime, he's going to
do.
make sure you have a job to work. It's more like third dimensional basic things, but then they're also hopefully going to be things that are taking you to the next level. I see a lot of people getting new jobs or being elevated in a career they already have, like finally being recognized, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's like God's not going to make these things obvious. We're not playing this game on easy mode. We're playing it on hard mode. And so we really, like, for me, I was needing more abundance. I was needing
I need
more
a lot
in my life. And so in order to do that, what worked for me is I had to actually step away from every stream of abundance I was currently receiving. That was so hard. I started to go into a deficit, but I had my entire focus locked on achieving this higher goal of ultimately, if I got a better job, all of these other problems are going to disappear. And that's exactly what happened. I was able to get a better job, right? God saw me focusing. I'm not worrying about any of this. I'm not thinking about any of that. Do I know what I'm going to get? No, I'm focusing. I'm having faith. I'm showing up. I'm looking. I applied to so many jobs, just jobs. Honestly, they all led me nowhere until a miracle job offer came. And I really felt like it was God being like, you passed a test, like, and then he gives you a miracle. But you can't just go. I went out the first month I applied all these jobs, I didn't get any, and I was so down, and I was like, forget this. I guess this isn't gonna work. I guess I'm just gonna be stuck here at this rate. I did that for a whole month, and then I lifted myself back up and rededicated myself. And for everybody, it's different though. But it's like, you got to get out. It's like God's only ever gonna meet you halfway here in the third density. It's the much he can do. It's the most he can do. So we have to raise that. The thing is it's like hot cold. It's like playing charades. It's like he can't tell you what to do to raise yourself up. So you start experimenting, right? You try this. The thing is you try and you try, and then you check in, and then if you're like, okay, this isn't working, you got to just keep switching it up, and it gets exhausting and it feels daunting. But that's the only process, honestly, that I've seen happening with people.
I feel like I have come at least halfway. I mean, I created a comic book. I've got an IndieGoGo. Like, here, God, this is exactly how much money I need.
Well, a lot of times too, you just gotta trust him. A lot of what the higher spirits have been telling me is right now they hear, so like literally, this is almost a quote. They're like, we hear you all clamoring for wealth. We hear you calling that you need things. They're like, you don't understand that everything is still yet to be taken from you. They're like, we're not going to start giving you stuff, the stuff that you're going to have that's ready. We're like, where's the stuff? We know it's coming. We're not there yet. If they start giving you something now, that we've yet to experience a pretty significant fall in global wide systems. It is still coming. And the thing is if we have our wealth, this is literally what he showed me. Cause I was obsessing about coins, and then the earth came in, and the earth was like, coins and money is an illusion. Is it the operating illusion that does get you things? Yes. They're like, but where you're going, where your wealth is, it's in the future where wealth is reestablished as what's actually legitimate. And then in this vision I had, all the coins and all the money, paper money, burnt up, and it disappeared in the wind. And then underneath of it was like gemstone and crystals and rocks. And then I asked, does that mean that gemstones and crystals or rocks are going to become money? And they're like, no. They're like, this means that this is what real wealth and abundance is. One of the worst things that was ever done to us is we were told that paper money, dollar bills, change and cents, denominations across the world, that's currency, that has wealth and money. It's not. It doesn't. Literally, it's a piece of paper. It's a metal coin that we just woke up every day and started saying 5 cents. Real wealth is in the land. Real wealth is in the resources the earth has to offer us, and how we as individuals on that earth are able to recognize them and utilize them in a way that's self-sustaining. That's the hard truth of it is that the non-self-sustaining systems, their downfall is coming. It's the only way forward. And so before they redistribute the wealth, they have to allow it to fall so we can realize what true wealth is. We're almost like, honestly, in this illusion of being like, oh, I'm poor. But what we fail to realize is real abundance is not money. Yes, are we poor in money? Because we're poor in lies, because we have our real abundance in heaven. And that's yet to come down with us, but it is ahead of us. You know, it's a really
yeah, but
tricky
I'm
mind
not
control.
really, I'm not really looking to get rich per se. It's like, you know, like the stuff that I'm doing costs money to do, like to produce my book, to produce my videos. It costs. I need a new computer. My computer is honestly, it's way underpowered for what I'm trying to do, and I need a new one. But I don't have. I have negative money at the end of every month. Like I'm losing money every month, and like I would like to just be able to break even and maybe save a little bit, and like be able to afford the stuff that I need to like produce the stuff that God says He wants me to produce. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, this is a real human, everyday human embodiment issue. It is. And something that's been being revealed to me this summer around that. It's like I can only ever speak from my almost perspective in it at that time. And the messages I received is it's like, and it was like shocking to me, actually. I was like, wow, like I'm still kind of sitting with it. But the more that I've allowed it, it is flowing for me, is like, we're spiritual beings. We've been activated. The past 3 to 5 years have been about remembering who we are and what we can do. Now that that's more or less been established, I keep seeing like this vision of Superman, and right, and he's Superman, and it actually has been reminding me of you. And he's Superman, right? Or you got Batman, right? He's Batman at night, but nobody knows he's Batman. Nobody knows he's Superman because during the day he's Clark Kent. And he goes and he works at the newspaper. It's like there's something, and there's been this thing where like the timelines before this, it was not working out. Like, for example, when you had your job with Microsoft and that, like these are still really corrupt times. It was like get out, and they know how confusing this is. It's like get out, and now it's literally like go back in. Like and I myself have been having to hold space around my personal human reaction to go back in, because but the thing is we have to allocate, and this could be something for you. So really ask yourself if there's resonance here while I'm talking. You know, we put so much of ourselves out onto social media in general. I feel like, right, a lot of times we're telling ourselves we're doing this because it's furthering our goal. It's working. We're making a goal. But a reality check I had recently was, but am I really though? Am I really though? Am I reaching goals, or am I just like kind of deluding myself because goals are so hard to meet? It at least feels good to be like, oh, I'm doing something, and social media is definitely a place where you can get a lot of that. It's like you can almost get a lot of feedback, but not a lot of sustenance. And so something I've been seeing, and you know, this is very new. It's like a new wave of energy merging with this timeline where people like us are being called to step away from social media, right? We've established these things, and it's so hard because it's like my brain was fighting against itself. It was like, if I want to further my spiritual brand, I need to constantly be on social media. But then I just had this like awakening this summer where they were like, if you want to further your spiritual brand, you need to establish a professional career for yourself. And like I've been swimming in these interpersonal energies of really fighting against that, being like, no, like I don't need a paper to prove to you who I am or something. But what I'm being shown, and really ask yourself, is currently, if we're making ourselves available this way on social media, kind of because society in general at a global scale and the collective has not experienced the fall that is yet to come, they're not ready for you. They're not hearing you either, you know? And so what we're being called as these individuals, we're doing the most. You're doing it. You're hitting all the marks. The hard thing to hear is it's not linear time yet. And so we're being called to now pull ourselves away from these places. It's like we're steeping energy and look for, right? So if you, this is what's coming through from you right now, channel. If you are wanting to pursue videos and comic books, I would advise you at this point to look into any type of degree in media management, or not even necessarily degree,
I can't afford a
because
degree.
that's how people get paid. Well, see, here's another thing. This is the loophole. I've been with myself in these same things, sir. And what I did is I went out and I found myself a job that paid me better, offers scholarship program. So it's like, and what I did is I looked in my workforce, a couple places that do this are Starbucks, right? And you think there's parts of us that are like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work at Starbucks. But you know what? When I look at it from a higher level, it's like I can see myself working at Starbucks. And instead of sitting at my computer all day, I'm working at Starbucks. And then now I'm going to school. And then now I have a paper that says, I actually really do know what I'm talking about. And so then now people are listening and I'm getting paid higher. Like that's almost like an uncomfortable truth about where we're at in society in linear time right now. It's like we're being called to reinvest into almost like our brain has been wanting to be of service to the collective, right? Our whole mind, be of service, be available, help to activate and awaken them. The time for that is come and gone. It's time for us to kind of be called back into our personal projects. I'm being called into my immediate reality in life. I would encourage you, look for a job opportunity in your neighborhood, in your town too, where you could be even. There's a gas station out here. All night gas station. I don't know if you got them where you're at. Yeah, but they could also take you to school. And then you're also, who knows who you might meet at a local job who might be interested in your comic book. It's like we have to start opening our brain's pathways to these doors. And it's hard too. It's hard to do this. And then the human self, the grown up self is like, this doesn't make sense too. Also the whole time, it's like, this doesn't make sense. And then you got to keep pushing yourself. Hopefully it starts to reveal the sense to you, because if you are investing that money, or it's about like, you got to find different ways to get creative in the way you expose it to people. For example,
I hired a publisher.
Right?
Yeah.
You hired a publisher, but then it's like, I just continue, like, I know you come to me for guidance, and there's a lot of guidance out there. The guidance I keep being shown is we're going to have the most immediate success. Something's changed, and we're going to have the most immediate success if we're looking to connect with people in our neighborhoods, in our cities, in our towns. So, like, they're almost literally showing me in a vision, like, you with, like, a poster about your comic book, like, putting it up, placed it. Like,
there's a company around here that runs like ads at restaurants and stuff, and I have put my ad up on 2 of their screens, but I can't afford to do any more than that. That's, in fact, even that.
And don't overextend yourself too, either.
But and then also I did present at my local church this past Sunday.
Yeah, so you got to give that time. Another thing, like when I energetically looking into everything you're doing, it all looks like seed, and I continue to be shown the template code seed. Like everything you're doing, everything you're making, it's full of seeds. The whole point of it is when people see it, it's going to put seeds into their mind. Like they're not going to get it right away, a lot of them, but what's going to happen is quantumly, they're going to see it, and then later, whenever they are ready to get it, it's going to be right there, and they're more awake, let's say in 3 months, let's say in a year, and then they're going to circle back around to it. And that's when you're going to be more ready. I know it's hard though, because in this now moment, it's just like, it's not quite hitting, but let's see what these cards are going to have to say for you about it. Okay. We're going to do a Celtic cross for you, which is a great one. It's always, for me, it can be like a problem solver or like a block buster. Like if it can show you what your block is and then help to clear it out for you. Oh, and then, brother, we can't forget as well to select for you your free oil that goes with your reading today.
Okay.
Yeah, which is fun. And I'm trying to kind of tune in, you know, at the end of the reading and get an idea for what might help you the most. And right now, what I'm thinking it might be is the 369 oil, because
Well, I have some of that.
okay, well then you know what it might be then actually, because then they said or is my tribe oil, my tribe rainbow fire oil, because
I
this
have
oil,
some of that too.
do you? Oh my gosh! Well then you should be using both of those daily.
It's been daily.
Daily,
What-
you
what-
need to
what
use
should
them
I-
both daily, and you need
What
to put
should I
them.
do with them?
You should put them on your pulse points here, on your
Okay.
pulse points there, on your pulse points here. You can put some at the crown. It can be good.
Okay.
Put it all down and into your belly button as well. Into the belly button absorbs differently, and then also the bottom of your feet. And then it can also amplify all the energy to involve a candle. Any candle can
Well,
do, and just
see, that's
add
what I
them.
do with it. Like if I'm doing like a candle ritual, which I don't do that every day. I do it like maybe every few weeks. But I use some on my candles, and then I'll like put some on my crown and maybe some on my brow. And
Well, brother, the thing is, my rainbow tribe oil, my tribe rainbow fire oil has the Saint, what is it? High John root. It has High John root in it. My Pele oil, my tribe rainbow fire has High John root in it, which is a really strong herbal root for luck, for attracting lucky opportunities, for attracting new client opportunities, for attracting bigger entities that might be interested in your ideas as well, can be things that help us in the future. And it also, especially the tribe rainbow fire, when you apply it, it's like you're clearing out everybody who's been karmic, who's not going to be interested in your product, who isn't ready right now. You're clearing that space out, and then you're opening a space and creating a magnetism to pull people in from a distance who are actually in your future timeline, to pull them closer into your now moment, to help that. And it takes time because we are third dimensional weaving in reality.
right. Okay. Well, I'm glad after all this time I finally asked you explicitly what's the best way to use these.
Always just ask.
I'm not doing it as well as I could be. So
we can always do more, and it really is the physicality of ritualizing yourself. And then too, especially with the 369 manifesting oil, tap into, get a little refresher on the 369 manifesting method. Apply that method physically, apply that method in your mind, right? Which you know all about. Like you know. The thing is we know, but are you doing it consistently with focus and without doubt? That's where you can start to
just watch my videos. It's literally baked into all of my videos. Yeah. Sometimes I can't even help it anymore. Did you know that 11:33 is my angel number, right? But 11 minutes and 33 seconds is 693 seconds. I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, the math like that is wild and fun.
Yeah.
They are still the numbers are so silly when they're doing it.
Yeah.
These are some really good looking cards. I love the stack. I'm so excited. And then another thing is coming in when I'm putting these cards through, like I almost just wanted to skip it, but they're like, no, just say something. So it's like I can almost hear in your energy, you've got all that good stuff on the inside, right? And it. It's like logically, you understand how it's gonna work, how you're gonna be blessed, how there's gotta be patience. But then it's like I can hear this like static that could almost be like subconscious, very subconscious. And what it is it's almost like now as I'm tuning in, I can see like an inner sphere of your energy. It's like the sun. It's orange, it's gold. It's very pretty, and it's almost like you are. I want to say what it's reminding me of is like when someone's like, "It's fine," everything's fine. I'm fine. And the thing about that is like, totally, that's how we get through it. And this is something that I've been spending my summer doing, is God's like, I see how you understand how it works, but I also see how there's parts of you saying like you need a new job, right? So your mind stretches out, new job, and then what is it bumping up against immediately? Just doubt and fear and the past failures, and how you're saying, God, like, what kind of job? It just, and that's there, that's on you, and it's on the very outside, and what it almost looks like is like the energy of that inside the sphere when it's present. You hold a space for it, and then you push it out instead of instead of actually alchemy. It's like, it's something I've been really getting into, is mind control, controlling your thoughts. So a thought around getting a job, you're going to want to project, right? Fear, blockages, challenges. But can you get super meditative? And the first step I took was to come towards thinking about a job and just have silence, have no thought, none, no good thought, none, no thought. And that was hard, the silence. Then once I locked in silence, then I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it delusional. I'm just going to insist and project out. There certainly is a job. It's like I reversed and switched out, instead of just like being like, God, every time there wasn't a job, gosh, oh, well, there sure isn't a job. That's another job, which was exactly what I was doing before. I'm just like, add that to the other job I didn't get list as it grows longer. But then I stopped doing that. And I was just like, okay, first I went into silence, and then I came back with, oh, okay, job not going to work out for me. Then that's just not the job God has intended for me, but I'm putting in the work. I know he's going to see me doing it. I'm doing something, and I'm locking in, and I have faith. I know that that job wasn't for me, and I'm not going to tell myself that the perfect job for me is now. That's what we're doing to ourselves all the time. And I can really see and feel a lot of that, just because I can see you trying, right? You're trying, but it's like, they want you to know, you're kind of shoving it out, and you got to get a little bit more. Like, I really went into this like Mr. Miyagi, like this monk, where it was just like, silence your mind, silence your doubt, silence your fear, because we can silence our mouth, but are we silencing our minds and our hearts? It's so challenging. It's so challenging.
Yeah, because like someone's gonna man the ship, right? Someone's got like. No,
they are though. He is manning the ship.
Last month I ran out of money. I ran out of money before the end of the month, and then this month it's gonna cost me even more than what last month cost me. So like I have to watch every penny. I can't afford to just not think about it, and nobody else is gonna do anything about it apparently. So
well, I don't mean don't think about it like that. I mean, just, you definitely are thinking about it, but you have to balance the magnetism. A lot of the time we're bringing a magnetism that's affirming that we're not finding that job, instead of a magnetism, still seeking, being open-minded.
yeah, well, I mean,
I hope you find that job. I'm going to pray for you, brother.
Well, right now I'm a contractor. I get paid with a 1099. Like, and that honestly, the way I got that was miraculous. And but I guess if God wants me to have another job, he's gonna have to facilitate another miracle, because I don't have anything better like coming across my plate. And what I'm trying to do is just produce great content. And I keep hoping, somebody will see it and just be like, hey, that's pretty amazing. I'd love to hire somebody like that to produce content like that for me. I'm just kind of hoping that maybe that could happen, but so far it hasn't. So
one of the best things that could help is switching your frequency from hoping to knowing. Because that's kind of what I'm trying to talk to you about here. And it's so similar. Like, there's hope. When you hope, there's actually a level in that frequency where it's open to the fact that you're not already receiving it. But when you just have faith and knowing, and then it's hard because you're being also confronted with nothing in the now moment. You have to continue with that. And it's these tiny little changes, like just changing it from hoping to knowing I'll get it. That's what's made the change for me. And what's, has been just small things like that. But so now we've got these cards out here for you, and we're gonna see about turning it around and see how that goes. I wonder if I can do that. You know what? I don't think I can. So I'm gonna just hold them up. That's okay. And I'll take a picture. You know, I take pictures, and I'll send you the pictures so you can see the whole layout. Start your Celtic cross spread, and it always starts in the center, right? It's gonna look like a cross, and then a line going up the side. And the first one is going to be your challenge, and then what's your current situation, and then what's blocking it as a challenge. And so one of the best, and what that's looking like right here is like this. Like, so the energy of it is, this is what's really going on with you, your current situation. This is your truth. But what we generally think when we have this reading is we think that this is what's going on. So there's some confusion. And so this spread can really help to clear that confusion and hopefully help you understand. So this is actually really exciting. Oh my God. Okay, maybe we're gonna have something for you here. Okay, because you asked, right? We know the subject is abundance in general, stability, and that. And what you got right here is 5 of grains, 5 of pentacles, and she's reversed. She's reversed. This is the best way to have her. The best way to have her is reversed because, you know, 5 of grains upright is like being without, being on the outside looking in, but it reversing is really showing, you know, you're coming out of that. It's almost like when it goes from, when it's just this way, but then it goes reverse, it's like you were on the outside and then someone invites you in. And so there's like this healing, or it's like you move away from the window you're looking in, you move away from it and you're like, you know, this window I should have never wanted to even be in there. You find yourself a new doorway and you go in, and then you're healed from even the hardship that it first brought you. Because the 5 of, I feel like that's something it's showing me here, which is auspicious for you, is that it's brought hardship. You've been experiencing hardship. And then a lot of the times when that hits, we'll be like, all right, I gotta go. We gotta make this stop now. It's almost like you rushed through it. You're like, I can't deal with this. But if you're actually in it to win it, you will continue to stick around and you'll alchemize and you'll be like, why is this happening? Why do I feel this way? How can I make myself feel better? It can actually be a lot about not waiting around for another person to come and help you out, but it's finding the way, like you stand there on the outside enough, you finally find the way to help yourself. Like I almost, and it says in 5 of grains is the bleeding woman. She said to herself, if I only touch his cloak, I will be healed. And like, I don't know, I don't want to sound some type of way, but it's like, it's almost giving me this energy of like, you know, it's like, that's how you might be feeling about your abundance situation now. Like if God would only bless my outreached hand. But the thing is like, God, why? A lot of time God be blessing. This is what I say to myself, is if I ask for a blessing and God doesn't bless me promptly, my honest reflection to myself is I must not be asking quite the right way. Like it's very specific. And one of the biggest things, sometimes when God puts you in a challenging position, it's like a parent. And what he's showing me now is it's like he's like almost showing me like you're the person, like you're imagining a person to come along and help you. And I know this isn't what you want to be hearing, right? But you're that person. Like, I don't know if, like, you don't need someone to come elevate you. Just continue to elevate yourself. And I know that don't be answering the physicality of paying bills, but that is the energetic templating behind it. It's like God's saying to me, he's like, Dave's got it in himself. Dave, he's saying Dave's so close. He's like, I'm not going to mess up the fact that you're almost making it happen for yourself without God's help. But it's really hard, right? Like God's almost saying to me too, like, it's hard for me to not just reach out and help you. He's like, but if I did, like, then you won't have it living inside you, like knowing how to do something, if that makes sense. And then, so this is like your current situation, right? Is, you know, 5 of grains, it's reversing. Something abundance is moving in your field. It's karmic. And a lot of us are in this position where it's really not, at this point, there's not much we can do about it except continuing to wait and have faith. But then you got the high priest Aaron, the brother of Moses, with his whole beautiful chest piece here. And this has been a huge template coming down for me this week. And so this be like what's blocking you somehow is your high priest role could be almost something I want to say. You know, it's blocking you from like being, I want to say, just being a regular guy. Like it's circling me back around to like, yeah, I'm totally spiritually alchemized, but I'm getting ready to about to be clocking in like a 9 to 5 where I'm just Sandra and I'm just helping you connect your call to where you need to be. Like, and that's where we're going to find stabilized abundance in our life. Like, that's some type of message he's trying to get through. And it's like, I know you don't want to hear that, like having to go back into this mundane version of yourself and blend into society. But honestly, like, that is the wisdom and the guidance currently kind of coming through around the subject. And it's about, like, again, I continue to be shown like where you're gonna find the best results are not somewhere like the internet, because it's imaginary, it's invisible, it's not real. We need to be trying, and this is so hard because we've been so programmed with the COVID and with everything around to just be in our homes. But it's like, go out and find, like, there's got to be a job in your town that might need someone like you, and it might seem mundane, like, right, you could be doing something so every day. Like, that's kind of what this is giving me, is like, we get so blocked out by our priest, our high priestess self. Like, where's just your regular guy? Like, are you blocking him out? Are you having time for just Dave to not feel all the pressure of being also a high priest? Does that make sense?
Maybe, but I mean, honestly, I don't know what I would do. Like, seriously, I'm a software engineer. I work with technology. There's nothing else I'm good
This is
at.
something that's really challenging for people
And
to
there's
understand.
nobody's going to pay me what I'm worth doing anything else. That I can barely get what I'm worth doing as a
Not
software
with that mindset, Dave. Not with that mindset. That's what I'm
engineer. It's
talking
the
to you
truth.
about
It's the
right now.
truth.
No,
This
but
is about,
see, you're saying it, you're casting it on yourself right now. My dear friend, saying it's the truth. It's not, make it no longer the truth. You got to, that's where it starts, is with you, that inner alchemy. Because yeah, reality definitely isn't shifting quickly around us. I feel like so see something that what was it? It was you're saying about Microsoft. It's like, it's almost like, what is it? It's like they want you to get back into something like that. Like, let's look at what the rest of the cards are. So you got below you, that one's just confusing. Below you, you got 9 of chalices. I feel like what I'm really continuing to be told is it's like your mindset is blocking it out. Like, it's right there on the edge of your reality. And it's like, because you're in this mindset of how, like, everything you just said to me is your immediate response, and your truth built into you is, oh, there's no job out there. That's just the truth of it. Nobody's going to pay me my worth. You are such a powerful creator being of your reality with that living inside of you. That's why it's reflecting back to you.
it's
I
just
know.
based on 46 years of experience, honestly.
Well, and that's the mind control. That's the mind control. It's like a child. Like, you have to be like, oh, yeah. It's like, I watched this show Over the Garden Wall, and the thing is it's 2 brothers, a younger brother, an older brother, and they get lost. Whole time the older brother's like, we're messed up, we're lost, we're so screwed, we're never gonna find our way back home. How did we get into this mess? We're done for. And then the younger kid, the whole time he's just like, oh, Greg, it won't be so bad. Home could be around any corner. Home, are you there? And it's like, the whole point is, like, that's how, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be open, or are you locked into being like, man, it sounds like you got all your doors shut and they're locked in to locking you out. And I wish I had something else to say to you. I feel like, and I'll say it, I feel like we're kind of locking horns. Like this is a tough one for you to hear and really be receiving. And I'm willing to
I have
lovingly.
no idea what to do with it, honestly. Like, this is, I did a job search last year and I couldn't find jack until this one job came along randomly, and which I'm doing now. But, um, like I have too much to do to be hitting the streets looking for work. Like, I'm a busy guy. I barely have as much time as I need as it is, like, to do the job I have and to like create the content I'm trying to create and be a dad, be a father, or be a husband. Like,
Yeah, these are all very deep. These are the challenges we all face every day.
So, like, if God wants me to have a job, he's got to lay it on my lap, because that's the only way it's going to happen.
All right. Well, maybe he will then. Maybe he will, since that's your locked in belief. Maybe that will bring because you got good cards here. 9 of chalices. With 9 of chalices underneath 5 of cups reversed, you got abundance for you. Like, the abundance is there. It says, as the time when the Jews got relief from their enemies, and as the month when their sorrows was turned into joy and their mourning into a day of celebration. It sounds like to me like God's putting you in a spot that makes you feel really sad, because he's about to give you something that's going to lift you up sometimes God really likes when we go from really low to really high, because that can heal our alchemy. And then we got also 8 of chalices. So you got 9 of chalices and then 8 of chalices above you, which is like the guidance. So 8 of chalices is breaking cycles around your emotions. Like, I think that there could be a lot for you. Like, if you just hold a space, it seems like, honestly, I want to say it's like you're almost traumatized from how much you got to work, how hard it's been to strive. And, we have to hold a space to allow ourselves to feel that pain, and then once you feel that pain, you got to maybe change, you got to look at how you're spending money sometimes with 8 of cups, or spending your emotions, like how much work you're putting in where. If you are saying you're feeling like, I don't have enough time to get anything done, that was exactly where I found myself at the beginning of summer. My answer for me was to remove being on social media. As soon as I did that, that's where I was spending too much time that wasn't returning to me, right? It's like you're putting a lot of energy out. You need some of that to return to you. And, you're going to maybe regroup and ask yourself, what kind of changes could I make in my cycles of, it has something to do with emotions too, and how tired you are. You're exhausted. It's like, this isn't working. So you got to find something new. But they're helping to inspire you. That's what this is they're hearing your call. They're hearing your call. What I'm really picking up now that I'm tuning in with the cards a little more, and I'm like, actually, oh wow, like kind of surprised and excited for you. It seems like God is preparing a surprise or a miracle or a job offer. Or I also kind of saw in your field someone who does something, noticing the content you're making, being like, I like that content. I want that content over here. That's what I'm like, something like that. And the thing in these timelines, you've come into someone's awareness, and it looks like this could be happening for you. It's pretty far away, but it is aqua blue. And it's like you're in somebody's awareness, but they're not sure. Like they're almost in a place like you, where they're like, I got all this stuff, and like I really need a little something else, but I'm already stretched really thin. So it's like they're on the fence about you. It's like God's getting ready to do this cascading effect where it's like one person takes a leap of faith, and then everybody's kind of taking a leap of faith towards each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it seems, and I've noticed this, that like nobody at the moment, it seems like nobody's willing to do that. I mean, I am. Like I've offered to several people, hey, let's collaborate. Let's see if we
It's
can help.
about God really trying to find you the perfect partner. That's why using the Tribe Rainbow Fire oil could help facilitate that faster, because it's finding those perfect matched people that you're going to help them and they're going to help you. That's what that oil is all about. And it's about clearing out like if it's a crowded room and there's only 3 people that are really going to help you, putting that oil on is going to like clear them all out. And then you can say, oh, I see you 3 people, you see me, like, let's focus on each other.
Okay.
It really looks like too, I'm going to say with this 8 of chalices, it says after he said this, he was taken up before their very eyes and a cloud hid him from their sight, the ascension of Jesus. And so what I really feel like this is saying is like, if you can continue to open yourself up and be like, hey, God, it's me. I'm here. I know we need to do some work. So what's it going to be? Like, he's going to try to inspire you. He's going to try to tell into your mind. Like, he's showing me it's harder for him to present it to you. Like, here it is. It's going to be easier for him to be like, you're going to be like, I'm going to go to this place. Or like, you'll be like, you know what? Like, it's hard for me to say because it'll be inside you. But it'll be like something will click. Like, you'll be like, oh, I never thought about that before. And it's like, God is trying, but there's lots of moving. It's like, for that to click, he's got to move something over here for you to finally notice how it clicked. Like, and you're working together with him. And yeah, man, I even see, like, just looking down in these cards at this energy, it's like I can see that, like, the type of abundance that you are going to tap into, it's going to end up like, you're going to be like, hey, other people, like, if you do this, you will also be having more abundance. Something like that. Like, it's gonna, it'll be like, I can definitely see that in here, though.
Yeah, I mean, that tracks with, like, I get messages in my YouTube every day, and it's like, hey, God's chosen one, don't you know that God's going to make you super rich really soon? And it's like, and the things that these are like channeled messages, and the things that they say.
I get really similar messages all the time too. Like, honestly, it reminds me of like being collect called. It's like a telemarketer. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Yep. I have my financing. Like, like, let me know when the ticket hits. But they're just, and then we got the energy that's leaving from you. And it is number 1, Ace of Candles, which is the Moses and the burning bush. It says, when the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, here I am. Right? One of our favorites, right? So the I am, all that. It's like, I feel like this is like God talking to you. Ace of Candles. Like, you are being activated for your soul's purpose. Like, that happened to you. And now it's like, now that you've been, and this is something I've been kind of receiving too. Same for me. Activated for your soul's purpose. Now that that's happened, it's almost like now you need to figure out how to just be a man or just be a woman, because so much has changed. Like, the way that you used to do that isn't fitting the same. Like, the way you just used to be some guy, that's not who you are anymore. And a lot of the times we get so caught, and then this is so wild, right? You got Ace of Candles, the energy leaving, and now the energy meeting you. 10 of Candles. 10 of Candles. So that's full cycle completion right here in the middle of something. And what this says to me, 10 of Candles, it says, why did I ever come out of the womb to see trouble and sorrow and call my days in shame? Jeremiah's burden.
Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah's burden. God feels you, right? God, he feels you. He feels you, and you are 11111 ones all the way across your lifetimer just now on that one. Literally, when I said that, God feels you. He sees you, and your challenge is 10 of Wands is when you have completed your cycle. But this is the trickiest part: is it doesn't feel like it. Normally, when you cross the finish line, right? It's like high fives. Here's your trophy. Here's a cup of water. You did it. That's not what crossing this finish line is like. Crossing this finish line is like, you're the only person doing anything. You carried all of it. Nobody's even there. Nobody even knows you had a finish line. people can't even comprehend what you're doing. And when that happens, you feel the weight, right? The weight of it all. But the good news is that weight is actually a sign that you have reactivated your divine inheritance, right? Your divine power. You know who you are. You're not just some guy, right? I mean, watch your video. You know who you are. But I feel like God's really calling you that you're going to find more peace and happiness and somehow a connection with abundance if you're able to be tuning in a little bit more with Dave, the human aspect, right? He matters too. He's awesome too. You know, it's like, and it's like, cause we turn ourselves into a workhorse, right? That's what this is about. It's like, now that you've done that, and this is so wild right now, they're saying this to me to say to you, and I'm just gonna have to say it because they said the same thing to me. It's almost like it's like you've been through so much and your reward is here. It's like you almost need to affirm to the universe that you understand that by being more playful. Like, for example, this is exactly why I took up golf. I took up golf because if I spent more time not thinking about a job and having fun, that it would magnetize faster to me. And it was really hard to believe that and set that into motion and allow myself to actually achieve having fun and tuning out from the stress and burden of that. Because it's like, once I did that, then God was like, oh, so you're not stressed, you're not burdened, so you're ready for more. You're ready for your blessings. Like, you're ready to have fun. It's just really weird. Like, it's polarity, energy balance, yin and yang, light and dark, fun and work, hot and cold. It's like, I would almost suggest, like, as far as guidance, like, I know it's literally so hard. Like, oh, let me just go and figure out a way to have fun on top of the fact that, like, literally, where am I going to live next month? But that is the wisdom. And that is the wisdom that's coming down. And that is what I'm seeing with other people around me. And it just don't make sense. It don't make sense. It's really hard to do. It's really hard to initiate 222, a 222 code on my clock, on my time zone. Well, we're saying that numbers don't lie. Yeah. So next we have, all right. So next we have your, let's see. Okay, we've got advice. Hello, we're back. We've got advice, environment, hopes and fears, and your most likely outcome. So, advice. So this card came up, strength, and then she's reversed. Strength reversed. Ha! Daniel in the lion's den. And you have been tapping in with these codes. And like, I feel like you just wanna, I feel like I'm just not saying what you want to hear this time, this session. But what I'm hearing is like what this means, strength reversed, and it means do less. And why do you need to do less? Because you are so burdened. You are literally, you've done the most you could possibly do. You're way overloading your donkey. So now what would be the next, what makes sense to do next? Pile more on and push harder? No. You need to try to do less. And I know this sounds insane. I feel like I'm saying all the things that are just pissing you off and are like,
in some ways it sounds good because
because you need to regain your strength and you've done so much. And it's like, there's a part of your mind, the one that's stressing you out the most, kind of like saying, and there's still more to do. And where's it going to come from? And then too, and I was just blood from a rock. It's like you're trying to take blood from a rock. It's like you're putting a lot of pressure, even also on yourself. And so God's kind of trying to say a little advice for you at this time is just, and it's so hard. How can you expect me to do less, find a way to be more playful and just be more in tune with my human self when like I am so honestly battling fear, right? I want to say fear on how I'm going to make my abundance met. And like, to me, the way it looks is God's like, this is your meditation to conquer that fear is to, okay, are you transmitting fear or are you making yourself so doing less, looking for fun, tuning in with who is Dave, my human man self? That's going to take away your energy current from going over here and having doubt and fear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
And it can be more playful too. There's this thing of he wants it to be playful for you because these are the vibrations that change the abundant frequency. And you're so close. I can see it. I see it all around you. You're so close. You're doing great. God is dead. Like, honestly, the fact that he's telling you to do less too, it's like he's got it coming around for you. Like, don't totally tune out. But it's like, especially with this, he's almost wanting to say, like, you're safe. That blessing is coming. Like, it's like, and if you can just like, almost like you need to prepare yourself to meet that blessing, like, you don't want to be so stressed out and distracted and thinking you need to be allocating time to something you've already taken care of. And then it's like, you're not going to be ready for when it's like, hey, do you want to start this job? Or, hey, do you want to start this project? You know, it's like and it's so hard to have, again, that trust and faith to say, okay, I am going to let myself rest now because I've done the work. And I know the blessing is preparing to meet me, so I need to be ready. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
All right, good. Because I definitely feel that for you. And then we got it coming up. It was advice. And then this is your environment. And I love this. Man, it's just real similar. I don't know. It's 6 of chalices, right? So you got ace into 10. And so I think it's interesting that you're having the 6 also coming into your environment. And then it's Jesus and the children. When Jesus saw this, he was inundated. He said to them, let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. And it's like, here it is again. I've said this before with you. I'm going to say it again. I feel like I just know that whatever you end up doing, I mean, look at it already. It is going to be good for children. It's going to take to children. Oh my gosh, like even right now, I just got like a vision of a library and a vision of children. And then earlier, I actually had a vision of you putting one of your comic books in a library, like as a gift. But then because it was seen, more people wanted it. And so like, I really see something about just connecting possibly with children in your area, or possibly I'm seeing something along the lines, especially with environmental, like something that could, explore something that could help decompress you from the burdens would be to be paying more attention, right, to your son, because that's also something we have to do. And it's like through connecting with him, you might even be connecting with his friends, or it's like, it's like, here we go, networking, right? How would one network with children? Probably through other children, right? people have been networking with children through adult things and stuff for so long, commercials, right? How do you get your kid to say, hey mom, I want that, and not leave you alone until they get it? A commercial. Like maybe there could be something there for you, but then again, they're really wanting me to have you focus it into your local place, like that there could really be an interest for it there, or that it would take really well there. And then also too, there's this energy of like God's coming in all the time telling me and reminded me, you're my child. You're a child too. You're a big child. You're however old you are a child. Like he tries, when we're so burdened by the weight of our lives, sometimes he tries to come in and remind us, you are my child. Like, so you got to kind of switch your hat just to decompress yourself for a minute, right? Like just where you don't have to be the person in charge of everything. Like I feel like God's trying to extend that to you, especially with the strength reversed underneath of it, that could really help to lift your spirit, is to cultivate a time where, right, this is all the time, right? You're tapping in with God and you're like co-creating, right? You're like, I am you, you are me. But where do you ever take time to just let him be over you and just let him hold that space? Because that's where we can we can drop that heavy act for just a minute. I think that could be something he's trying to call in for you to create for yourself, because that could help. Honestly, when we do something like that, it's like it decompresses this tension that creates like a block in us from seeing things that could be there otherwise, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah,
Because it's so stressed out. It's almost like an emotional massage. Like, let God let you feel safe. Let him hold your burden for a minute, you know? Remember that it's not just your burden, it's also his. He's working with you. You know, that's a lot of what I feel like coming from that. Or also too, I'm almost seeing, like, I don't know if you have an altar space in your home that might be more like, kind of like Jesus Mary, because that can be a place where they can really radiate to you, you know, instead of all the
My
time
altar
you're
space-
projecting. It's like sometimes we need to fill, again, 6 of cups, fill our cup up. I think that's
Well,
something else insane.
my altar space is Samael and Lilith, but you know, pretty close actually.
Well, I
But
mean, you know, something that energy loves is the polarity balance, right? Polarity balance. You have the bottom, you have the top.
yeah, but I can't do Jesus. No. I mean, look, Jesus and I are good, but I was traumatized by
Oh yeah,
Jesusians, and
that's
I just
fine. And Jesus is fine with that. There are so many Christ expressions for you to interact with. It does not have to be Jesus. Yes.
I mean, you know, I'm good with Jesus in a lot of ways, but I just can't be like Jesus stuff out on my out on my altar.
You. That's fine. Yeah, everybody's different. And then your thought coming up here is going to be, and this is very interesting, okay? This is your hopes and your fears together. And this is a really good card for all this energy here. It's Page of Candles, okay? And there she is. She be dancing with her tambourine. We got Miriam. This is one of the best ones. Miriam's praise for God, right? Miriam saying to them, sing to the Lord, for he is highly exalted. Both horse and driver has he hurled into the sea, right? This was about when he part the Red Sea and all that. God's getting ready to work a miracle in your life. He is. And that's your hope. And it wants to come in, is that's it. That's kind of like ringing true on hope and fear. Because, right, it's like, oh my gosh, that would be really exciting. But the more that we're excited to receive something, the more we're going to create fearful ideas around it. It's like, otherwise, it's like the more you care about something, right? The more you're worried that something bad might happen to it. But if you didn't care so much about it, you'd be more removed. And so, this is, and then your hopes and fears, Page of Candles. Candles is wands. Ooh, your life's purpose, what makes you happy. And Page of Candles means all eyes. This is confirmation. All eyes are on you. Eyes are on you. People are talking about you. All right. You might not feel like it, especially because you're busy, right? And it's not, but people are, it's like they're shy, but people are watching, they're interested, and they're trying to think about how they want to approach it, right? They got to think about how's it going to look for me if I approach it. Is it going to make me look some type of way? How do I want it? How can I arrange? You know, it's like a narrative. We're creating a narrative. Somebody wants to come forward to you, but right now they're observing you. They're observing you. And so, you know, and then we can kind of have this energy. But so they just want you to know, just be yourself. Be authentic. Because the more you do that, that's going to be more of what people are like, yup, I had that feeling. And then here's this feeling again. I can't quite explain it. It's just them. And so, you know, hope and fear. And that's okay. If anything, you know what? I feel really good about this card for you. Normally, I see way more about like you needing to neutralize the fear. I want to say I think you've done a really good job listening to the things I've been saying. Like I feel like I can see in your energy how it's dilating, taking them in, and things are shifting, and you're feeling almost more like soothed and calm, like trusting, right? Like less like panic. Like I don't really, it's like more trusting, more willing to also, you know, do less. The thing is like, you know what, do you need to go out? I'm going to tell you right now, do you need to go out and be hustling, looking for a job? You don't. It's coming. Okay. You already need it. Confirmation. What you need to do is, you know, spend a little more time being playful or engaging with your child in the home. You know, maybe honestly, something about a library, something about, you know, maybe exploring a library, exploring your, you know, exploring in your church?
I mean, I did try to take my book to the local public library. They wouldn't take it because they said we don't take self-published books. Okay, I thought this was a public library.
That's weird. Well, God, I mean, maybe, just continue. Don't give up. Maybe there's another library, or maybe getting into bookstores or something. I don't know.
I am working on that.
But it confirms that somebody's watching you. And the thing is, another like, it's a coded word I've been receiving is come correct. Like, we are projecting. People better not come at me unless you come correct. Like, do I want you to be interested? Yes. But do I want you to be confused and have no idea what I'm talking about? No. Like, we've projected, like, people better come correct to me. And so now the people that are trying to approach you, it's like they're coming, but they got to make these adjustments to themselves as they move forward to you. And they know that. It's like they don't want to fuck this up. Is like another thing that's behind the people. And there's multiple people. It's like they don't want to fuck this up. But at the same time, it's like they're not too sure. Like, they don't know you that well. They just got this weird feeling, right? So, and then we got your last card up here is going to be most likely outcome. We got 10 of grains. All right. So you got 10 of candles, right? You went from 1 all the way to 10. You jumped across the board. You'll see that better in the picture. And then you got 5 of grains reversed in your center right now. That shows me, right, you were at this point. What this reminds me of is it reminds me of like this point I got in where when I was adjusting my wealth frequency, I was going into a bit of a deficit, like a personal deficit. I was stepping away from all my other streams of income because I was like, none of them are working. I want a new one. And then when I did that, you go into this deficit, right? That's where you have faith and trust. And and you did it so well in this session. You were like, I know God is giving me my perfect job. I felt that resonance and it came back. What you went out, it reflected back, and he's working on it. But the thing is, it's third dimensional. It's so many people. It's so many places. And he's like humble ourselves. He's really trying to flow with all of it in his divine perfection. And it's saying God's promise to Abraham. All the land that you see, I will give you and your offspring forever. Okay. He said what he said. He said what he said. And you believe it, and you're lining up for it. And so it's honestly coming together a lot faster than we think it is too. And I think you're right. I think you just needed, honestly, that confirmation that's coming in for you. And what you really needed was the reaffirming for you that maybe you need to do less, and that maybe what was it, you got to do a little bit less, in doing less, maybe try to have a little more fun and and then faith, and then just lock in that faith and just keep trusting, and then do your best. And then the last thing is and do your best with the bills. Like, he feels the worst about that. He's like, just do your best with that stuff day to day. He's like, he tells me, he's like, that's why I'm working so hard for what this is right now, is because what they've done is so messed up for everyone. Like, we shouldn't have to be living this way anymore. I feel like, to be honest, from what I've been seeing in the higher realms, it was needed to teach the cycles of humanity to literally be better people that deserve a better reality and world. And that's being born into us. And we are really, a lot of what you're going to be doing is going to be less understood by people that you're immediately going to be interacting with, and more understood as the younger generations come up. Does that make sense?
Honestly, I've already seen hints of that.
Yeah, it's like the current kids, they're kind of like, oh yeah, this is cool, but they're like kind of confused by it. But the younger ones, they're gonna be like, oh, I know what this is. Like, they're gonna really like it, and it'll be like there already. That's one of the things, is it's like the new generations that come in, somehow it's like you're creating your stuff now, but now these other it's already here. like energetically, physically, and then so they'll just pick it. And that, I know it's the long game, but God's been reaffirming me the whole thing has been the long game. So
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing a long game for sure, but I want to see one of those cards again, though. The one with Daniel in the Lion's Den.
oh yeah, he was reversed, so I was showing him to you reversed.
What verse is on that?
Huh?
What
verse? It doesn't have a verse.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, well,
yeah, but I could look for you. I also have the book. So
okay.
look for you what it says, because they got more in it. The major arcanines didn't get a verse, but they do have it in here. On the card, they don't get a verse. In the book, they've got one.
Okay.
I'd send you a picture from this book too if you want as well. And so it's strength. Daniel's in the lion's den. My God sent his angel and he shut the mouths of lions. I know. We were just talking about this. Like this is total confirmation for you.
It's like the completion of like a 3,000-year karmic loop or something.
It is. It's a loop, and it was a loop for literally like learning how it's how do I act, and then now what's happening around me. That's essentially what it's all been about. And then because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty. And that's me too. That's me too. I'm like, put me in the lion's den. I'm like, please put me in the, you come too? We can both go to the lion's den together. And then it says inner strength, courage, patience, compassion, moral integrity. Daniel, a Jewish prophet blessed by God with the wisdom and ability to interpret dreams, is known for his unwavering faith. Even when faced with death, his story illustrates his moral and spiritual strength despite being thrown into the den as punishment for praying to God against the king's decree. Daniel's faith protected him, and he emerged unscathed. His integrity and trust in divine power make him a perfect embodiment for the strength card seems. It really does. Like, whoa. That's a good one. Yeah, it represents power of inner strength, courage, conviction, and signifies overcoming challenges through faith, perseverance, compassion, rather than force. Which is like exactly, I feel like what it is it's like, you did this, right? You did this. And so then you're like, all right, so I did that. So now where are we at? Right? It's like, you're like, I did it. And then it's just kind of like, all right, now do it some more. Now do it some more. They're like, you are doing it. Like, this is definitely them being like, yes, like, this is you. You know, this is you. I'm telling you, this is you. Like, keep going with it. Keep going.
Do you know, did I tell you?
Now they're telling me a wisdom now that if you, because everything repeats itself. They're literally telling me this right now. Everything repeats itself. They want you to go back and look in the stories about him in the lion's den, because you know he's got multiple stories, right? And then they want you to look now closely at what occurs to him after he leaves the lion's den. Because if you're asking yourself, it's almost like that's where we're going next now, if we're overlaying that template into the now moment. You see?
Okay.
Because that can help give you context clues for what's ahead and how to handle it from what you've learned and what you've done in the past.
Wow. This is exactly the same thing that Samael Ain-Vior said in The Three Mountains, which I was just listening to yesterday. He said that life is basically a projection, and we take the same actors and keep putting them into the setting changes, but the energy produces, the same kind of result.
The thing is your character remembers it's an actor, remembers the characters it's played before, knows it's a character now, and in that is taking back its power as a character in this movie, right? All of it's cohering here, brother, for you. And then you're taking it, and so see, now you're opening it up further. You've done this before. So if you can stabilize the now moment, look back into what you've done before, how it turned out, compare it next to what has currently happened, what's coming up to kind of find the timeline sync. And then you can really that's where you get, it's not just future sight. It's like it's like it's precognition. That's what it is. It's precognition, but it's educated precognition, right? Like you're repeating a cycle, but this time you're doing it differently. You know you're in the cycle. You're coming up into these different points. You're like, oh, last time I did this. This time I'm doing this. Like, and once you lock that in, that's how the whole timeline shifts. And then another thing God's been showing me is in this season, when we're locking these in, it's like a save point in a video game. Like once we pass the point where like last time, right, we did this, and now we knew next time came around, we'd want to do this. Once we hit that mark, God saves our timeline. So then we can't go back. He saves it and refreshes it. So then we can't go backwards. And that's what's been locking the doors behind our past timelines. But we have to be able to kind of have that conscious, subconscious, middle conscious sync, you know, like acknowledgement and then flowing forward. Like, because when you realize, oh my gosh, like I'm kind of like, we just hit like a deja vu. It was like a deja vu cycle moment. Now it's like you're moving forward. You're like, okay, I'm not repeating, right? I'm not repeating these cycles. I see this cycle. And now last time I went left and now this time I'm going right. And not only am I going right, I know why I'm going right. I know why I don't want to go left. And that is where there is literally so much power to be had. Long term, it's not going to be able to be taken back from us neither.
Did I tell you the story of how Sarah and I found that passage? Because it's really quite amazing.
Oh my gosh, tell me.
Okay, so you know I did my 369 manifestation ritual in 2022. That was when we first started working together, pretty much around that time.
Yes.
And so you know I wrote that phrase, "I am the archangel Samael, first among archangels," and I found the Hebrew gematria for that was 1133. That's how that became my angel number. Also, when I was writing that was when I randomly stumbled onto Glorian.org, where I found the writings of Samael Ein Vior, and it was like reading the never-ending story, honestly. You know?
Because literally what it is your past character left that there for you so your future self, once it remembered who it was, could relocate it and continue reading it from a deeper perspective.
And that's what happened. And so you know 3 years have gone by, and just a few weeks ago I just got this harebrained idea. I was like, hey, you know, it might be cool to take my 1133 number and just like, I don't know, do some Bible cross-referencing with it, since that stuff's all over the Bible. So I decided to look for chapters and verse 1133 in every book of the Bible, and there aren't that many. Only one of them is there might be one other, but the only one really that I found that was significant was Hebrews 1133. And my phrase is Hebrew Gematria 1133 plus on King David.
So cool. That is really cool. I didn't know that.
And that verse is who by faith conquered kingdoms, performed great deeds, obtained promises, shut the mouth of lions. That's the verse. And then and then Sarah was like, hey, you know, didn't in the passage with Daniel, doesn't it say that there was an angel that shut the mouth of the lions? I was like, I think so, maybe. So I looked it up. Daniel 6:22, which you just read.
That's like multiple. That's like you over you over you, and then again you reading about you. Yes.
Yes, that's insane.
Well, it's that's anchoring. That's like a save point. Like once you lock that in, it's like you're not gonna forget again, right? We're moving forward, remembering. You know yourself. You know yourself. You know your power. So yeah, Celtic Cross. Boy, the Celtic Cross really brought it through for you. I was getting going on it, and it's like there's a lot going in the overall collective timelines, and even the collective timelines of embodiments like us. There's a lot. It's like, but once I really tapped in with these cards, and two, I just gotta say again, like, you know, we were having a conversation about your energy, you know, and you really just affirmed back to me like, oh, I do know. I don't need to be out looking for a job like that. Like, it's like this. And then like, literally after you like kind of said that, like mic drop, like all the cards reaffirmed that too. They really did. They really, really did. And so I think that that's one of the biggest things you need to take from this is kind of, and they're like, you're on the right track, and you're taking the right steps, and you are, like, something they really want to affirm for you through this spread is you have crossed an invisible finish line. Like, you say in your mind, you've been working towards a goal. You're like, I know I need to achieve. I think it could be making this content, like tapping into your creativity in that way, like becoming creatively expressive that way. And that really is what pushed you. You're crossing a finish line. Like, you are leveling up. And it's just a time in your life where the burdens, it doesn't feel like a party. It feels like a burden. But that's why it's important at these times. A lot of the times people will get a reading from me with 10 of Wands, because if you're in this mindset of being like, oh, I didn't past my finish line, like, oh, like, I must still need to work on things, like, you can distort yourself, you can get confused, like, you've done everything you need to do. Like, I think now you need to almost like take a break. And sometimes, like, in this break space that we allow, it's like that our energy tells the universe, okay, now I am ready for something else. I've taken a break. I'm not so stressed out. I'm going to pop it any second. I'm mellow. And then that's when it's like, oh, well, it'd be a great time for you to meet this person then. Kind of like energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And, speaking of meeting new people, I know you're talking about reducing your social media presence, but I hope you're still gonna stay in touch with your long distance friends.
No, what's happening is this is like, right, I just work here, remembering that I just work here. What's gonna happen is I'm being pulled back, because it's like right now it's like if I'm a product on the marketplace, people think that they can just get it anytime they want. And they also don't really understand it either. You know how I keep saying, my ears ringing, you know how I keep saying there's going to be a lot of collapsing yet to come? That isn't so much for people like us. And it's not going to affect, like, the collapse that's yet to come isn't going to be like the next depression. It's going to be the collapse of essentially like society, like everyone you thought was an actor, everyone you thought was your teacher, your fireman, the policeman, like that's what's getting ready to collapse, is what you thought was your society is not what it appeared. And when that
basically everything that I know to be a horror show about our reality, I mean, Sandra, I can tell you.
God worked it out. This is how God worked it out, because that way, literally, the collective consciousness will not collapse on itself like it has in the past. What's happening is, like, right, it hits us in waves. We've known for a while, right? Things came out Q. Ever since Q has been happening, more or less, people like you and I have pretty much been like, oh, yeah. Oh, all these people are pedophiles? Knew that. Oh, all these people are satanic people? Like, we're like, we knew that. It's like confirming. We're like, yes, I wasn't crazy. But the thing is all the other people who aren't on that level, they haven't heard it yet. So it's almost like, it's like first we got hit with it. So now we're kind of like getting comfortable, and it's very much this whole grab your popcorn thing. And we're looking around like, what don't people get? And that's why people are like, well, why do things have to get worse? Because these people don't get it. It's not for us. It's not going to affect us. But what happens is it's going to affect those people. And then after that, then they're going to be ready. Then they're going to be more like you and me. They're going to be like, yeah, so the world was run by Satanists that were all drinking our blood when we weren't looking, and stealing the children off our streets when we were asleep. And now, because we realize that and we've survived the knowing, we're ready to work on it. People will really activate to your material. People will really, it'll be like someone bleeding and us coming with a band-aid and being like, it's gonna be okay. I'm sorry they did that to you. Because we're already with it. Whereas these people, they're gonna be like reeling still. They're gonna be like, what? I'm gonna be like, I literally knew this when I was 7. And these people are like, I just found out yesterday and I'm 72. Like,
Yeah,
They're gonna need help, and that's when we'll be ready. It's getting close. Oh, it has something to do with October.
Well, I mean,
October's gonna be the tipping point. That's what I received
my
download.
movie, Dear Lilith, it's gonna be at this horror movie film festival in Orlando, the Freak Show Horror Film Festival. It's a pretty big show.
And it's so good. Like a lot of people like us might not get that at all, but they do not understand how much of a Trojan horse you are. Literally, like, it's like the equivalent of setting off a nuclear bomb of truth and light in the lowest density fields that are so hard to reach. It's the fact, honestly, like, tons of confirmation that is definitely going to have, at least in part, something to do with the synchronicity. I'm letting you know right now, you can mark my words. It is going, we've been waiting for the collective consciousness on planet Earth to reach enough human beings embodied, currently legitimately spiritually awoken to enough of a degree that the rest of the world can tap into it. That's going to happen in October.
Well, I've been told I've been told that my movie in particular is like part of the plan of like disclosure. It's part of it.
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see it. I can definitely, like, honestly, like, I see it triggering like almost instantly, like literally right now I'm seeing it wake people up when they watch it.
I showed it to the local comic book store owner. Yeah, I showed it to the local comic book store owner, and he knows everybody. Like, he's in the heavy metal, and he's got like George Lynch's guitar and on display in his shop and stuff. And he, like, I could see the look on his face that like it was too much for him. Like, I was freaking him out, and I was like, it is a horror movie. And I was like, and I just had to level with him. I'm like, look, I see that this is disturbing you, so let me just tell you, like, I am an angel, okay? And I know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to help people, but to get attention,
Yeah, no, and it's also the alchemy. What they don't realize is when we're watching stuff like that, we're being energetically inserted with a ton of other information. And what you're going to do is you're going to be uninserting and reinserting new programming into these people. And see, this is the like wildest, trickiest hack, like brilliance of the divine fields. That, right? How do you affect the entire giant whole? Are we really going to try to help and elevate the people that are doing the best and already know what's going on? No. We need to go to the people who are the most locked in the most segregation and try to expose them to the smallest amount of light. And if that occurs, the ripple effect, the ripple effect is way huger, magnified, and effective than trying to do anything else. That's like, I'm so. Cat, could you stop? My cat is destroying the card.
Oh no!
She's Stop it! Oh no! Yeah. She's just coming for it. She doesn't even care at all.
Wow. Okay. Well,
she's having a time of it. She's going full cat. Okay. Well, it's getting to be 3:00. I'm gonna have to get this cat under control if I'm gonna want to take a picture of this pet for you. Okay. And my kids are gonna be coming. You're so cute, stop it. Yeah, it's so cute. She's being so silly.
I would like to invite you to attend one of our Conscious Creator shows some Saturday. I mean, seriously, the ladies that are in there, especially, I think Diana, you would connect with her really well, and she might even have something for you. I'm just saying, So yeah, like, definitely, if you can, we usually try to do them on Saturday afternoons. And I'm not saying like, I'm not trying to get you to commit to anything, because actually she does shows during the day too. Actually, that works better for her. Like, that's probably the hours that work better for you, like daytime hours when kids are at school. So And
Yeah,
she's like,
Saturdays aren't the best for me. Weekends are a lot harder, but
I
we can
get that.
always, I remain open. We could always make a special weekend about it. Scheduling in my life is generally the best way to do it. And we
Well,
could try to set
you know,
something. One of the
you know,
biggest things is I'm starting my new job September, end of September. So probably October, something like that. Because then I'd really know like what my availability is like how to arrange with my kids.
well, I'll send her profile at least to your Facebook and Messenger, so you can like
Yeah.
connect with her on your own. Because I've already talked about you quite a bit in that group, like So
Oh, and yeah, circling back to your concern about me being on the, I'm gonna be here. It's just like what's been happening is the past 3 to 5 years, I have lived inside of the internet, occupying it, exploring it, and now I've been given instructions to just adjust it in my life like as if it was literally the 90s. Like what I might even go far to do is remove it from my phone and just get on my laptop through it. And then also I have my Shopify. My Shopify is up. My shop is up. You can email me. You can see all my products there, Shopify. I also have my link tree, which links you to my Shopify, to my Facebook, to all my Facebook groups, to my YouTube, to all my payments. And it also, I just built a link tree shop on it too. So you can see all my oils and services right on the link tree.
So something Diana and I are starting to talk about, and you might want to get in on this, is we've both been talking just this morning, talking about how like nobody wants to help anybody. So we're like, well, maybe what we should do is like people who are like conscious creators, we should just kind of form a network and like just all help each other promote each other's stuff. Like when we're doing our shows and stuff, just like, oh, and if you haven't checked out my friend Diana, she's got music, or if you haven't checked out Sandra's oils, I use Sandra's oils all the time, and they've helped me.
Yeah,
They've helped me with a lot. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm all about that. Networking and promoting is what I do. It's pretty much like I connect with you. If I like what you're doing and it feels good to me, like I will definitely mention you to people. And then like, yeah, then you mention me to people. Yeah, I'm all about that. That's always been, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. So I'll definitely help you get connected with her, and we'll see where that goes. But I think you'll love her, and she's trying to create. She really wants to create like content that is geared towards children.
Oh my gosh. So see, yeah, that's where, so that's really, that made it loud for me. That's low key what God wants me doing too. And I'm having a really like, as part of my new update is he wants me like talking. He's like, it's not about the grown-ups. He's like, it's about the
Honestly.
yeah, like the future. It's about affecting the grown-ups who might want to have kids. Like it's about stuff like that. That's coming loud and clear for me. Like to the point where when God told me to step away from the internet, he revealed to me it was because I need to step towards my children like there are people that I would work with on the internet, because my son has really been activating like with his own individual dreams and downloads. I'm pretty much certain that I've trained them both at this point in lucid dreaming, and they can operate their dreaming fields, and he manipulates and astral projects and everything. So
Yeah.
so
Well,
it's like you need to pay attention to that. He learned how to read tarot cards this summer. Like he can literally just sit down and look at them and read his book, and he like gets it, and it's really cool. It's like I'm honestly over here, like I've never been the type of parent to project or be like, oh, let's do this together. Like the only reason why I've extended it to him is because he has become an obsession, and like for years he's like, let me do it, and I'm like, we'll see in a couple of years, and he's like, let me do it, and I'm like, okay, like this time we can try it out. And it's really his own individual personalized experience as well. I'm just trying to keep it child-sized for him.
Yeah. Well, I have enjoyed this session very much. I always enjoy connecting with you, Sandra, but I want to be respectful of your time. So
Thank you, God. I know. I have to do that too.
yeah. So thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
David. Yes.
I probably
We will follow up about what oil that you want. Like, did
yeah.
you have one that you're interested in? Like, I
Well,
mean,
I
I think,
am getting low. If you have any like Lilith oil, I could
yeah,
use some of
I
that.
do. Do you need more? Do you need more?
I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Then I'll send that for you. And I'm even going to send you a roller too. I'll send you a bottle and a roller so that, you know, you and Sarah can both be using that.
Fantastic. And
Yes.
I am probably gonna publish this on my channel, but I'll edit out a few bits.
No, that would be great. Yeah, definitely tag me. Is it Telegram or is it YouTube? I don't remember.
Everything, honestly, I do as much as
Oh,
I can.
okay. That's what I thought. I think that's what confuses me is like you're doing across all of them. Next year, I've seen it in my timeline that next year I'm gonna launch a TikTok. It'll be time to go into the TikTok sphere, and I'll launch my shop. Like I'll probably do like it'll be like no one's ever seen it before. This is what I was saying earlier. Is like I'm coming away now. I'm going away because it creates a demand. It's like Beanie Babies. It's like Beanie Babies. So everybody, and also too, it's a combination of it creates demand and the people, it's not the time to talk to me. We're not going to understand each other. I know this from my higher divine wisdom. So you come away and then in that time, they get thirsty for it. And then I get prepared for it. And then I'm going to relaunch it next year in the spring. And people will be like, oh my God, she's back. But then I'll really be like, you guys, I never left. Like you could have gotten a hold of me at any time. People are weird. It's like the horse with the rope and it's tied to something or it's tied to nothing. Like it's hard for me to even explain because people just bless you.
I get it.
All right, brother. Well, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to send you these pictures, though. I'll send them right over. All right. You too. Bye.
If you want to gain your spiritual freedom in this life and experience the alchemical marriage of your soul with your God self, through the process of your ascension, there is no better time than now. Master Hilarion, the fifth ray, the flame of healing.